With episode 7 of Yellowjackets season 2 just being released, you know what that means? A trailer for episode 8 has come out as well. Unlike last week where we didn't get a trailer at the end of the episode, as the credits were rolling at the end of episode 7, it allowed us to take a look into what is to come next week, and boy, it looks like episode 8 could get dark. So with that, I thought I'd break down and explain all that there was to take away from the trailer for the next episode. So let's get into it. Here is Yellowjackets Season 2 Episode 8 trailer explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The trailer for Episode 8 opened up with it looking as though it could be picking up following on from directly after when Episode 7 finished. Judging by the environment that they're in and the time of the day, with it still being the evening, I imagine this could be straight after the phone call that Shauna received from Jeff where he mentioned that Adam's body had been found in the park. The first line that was spoken was uttered by Van, and she said, "So this is what you've all been doing, chasing blackmailers and murdering lovers." She most probably said this because I imagine Shauna is probably going to be returning back to the room after receiving the phone call from Jeff, and she'll go on to update everybody on what he said. As Van has been out of the picture for quite a while, she'll most probably be in shock about what had happened, hence the response that she's going to give. The next line that we had was from Shauna where she responded to Van and said that's a little reductive, basically highlighting that because Van hadn't been there, she didn't have a clue what had been going on, so she shouldn't simplify it the way that she did, especially because she doesn't know the reasoning behind why everything happened. After this, we had a shot of Ty in the past where she said, "We need to find a way to stay alive." In episode 7 of the show, we saw that the group was struggling for food, especially considering that they were contemplating about eating Crystal if she was found. So we know that they are in desperate need. Paired with that scene, there was a shot of the group laying down what looked like the skull that they usually chant around and give up offerings to the wilderness in order to hopefully get something in return. So it seems as though that will most likely be happening in the next episode as well. The final part of the line that Ty said was, "And it can't be her." We know that Lottie is in a state where she was essentially beaten to a pulp, and it looked as though there could be some long-term damage. So with her in a state of needing to rest and heal, we could see the group feel a sense of lostness without the guidance that she usually brings. We know that Ty is extremely connected to the wilderness as well, but the connection has been relatively absent in recent times, so I feel as though maybe it might come back in the next episode, especially considering that the rest of the group will most likely be relying on her. The next shot that we had in the trailer that accompanied the section where Ty was speaking was of Misty tending to Lottie, and it looked as though she was healing slightly, as she didn't seem as sore as before. And then there was one where Lottie was on her own looking like she was struggling slightly. So I imagine she's going to be having some dark things going on inside of her mind. After this section occurred, we then had a scene that looked as though it was from the present day. It was a voiceover of Callie uttering the line, "Mum is seriously messed up." So I imagine she's going to be speaking with Jeff. As this was happening, there was a shot that had the door opening, and Kevyn, Jay, and a few officers were present there. This is definitely going to be at Shauna's house. This most likely means that the group won't be at the compound for that much longer in the present day. They'll most likely be heading back due to the emergency call that Shauna got. With them believing that the body was found in the park, and with Shauna being the prime suspect, Shauna is most likely going to be in murky waters moving forward. It also had a quick cut to the younger version of Shauna, as it looked as if she was in some kind of ceremony. Maybe this could be to do with the offerings that they're going to be doing in order to survive. There was the usual glitch type effect that we've seen when Ben has been hallucinating, so I wonder if this could be some kind of hallucination that Shauna's having. As well as this, in the present day, it looked like Shauna could be on the verge of killing, as she was holding a weapon and blood appeared to be all over the photo of herself, Jeff, and Callie. I don't feel as though this is going to be connected to her opening the door to the officers, as that just wouldn't make sense. But with the blood covering Callie on the photo, it does make me wonder if something is going to happen to her. With there being a focus in the most recent episode about Shauna's worry about Callie just dying, and it's stemming from what happened when she gave birth to her son in the wilderness, it could be insinuating that something bad is going to happen to her, which could drive Shauna to breaking point. We then had a line which carried through until the end of the trailer. It was spoken by Lottie in the present day, and she said, "We don't get to decide, it chooses." I believe this is going to be her referencing the wilderness and the power that it holds and the actions that it's going to carry out. With there being 5 glasses that were placed down, this could be something that could be connected to how they used to make decisions with the cards. Something which was also featured in the trailer shortly afterwards. This could be the connection to the card that we previously saw with Lottie, and also the one which is featured in the opening title sequence that's got blood on it. There was then a quick succession of shots that appeared, and there were definitely some interesting moments. For example, it looked as though Akilah's mouse that she found and had been caring for is going to be found out by some of the others in the group. I imagine they'll most likely want to use it for food, albeit only a small meal. Or they may want to use it as a sacrifice and an offering to the wilderness, with the hopes of getting something in return. There was also a shot of Mari looking like she was in complete shock about something. I'm trying to think what it could possibly be, and it's hard to decide what it could be. In a few of the previous episodes, we know that she mentioned that she was hearing a dripping noise, a noise that nobody else in the cabin was able to hear. So maybe the sound has manifested into something else, and it's causing her to see something that's present in the room with her, as nobody else looked too concerned. There was also a shot of Ty looking away as if she was in shock about something too. I think this is most likely coming from the scene where she mentioned how they needed to do all that they could to survive, as I imagine they will be doing something drastic without the guidance of Lottie. The final moment that we had in the trailer was of the Yellowjackets out in the open looking as though they were running towards something, or someone, with the intention of attacking them. They had weapons in their hands, hammers, sticks, and axes. We've not seen the group look as though they were on an ambush before, so could this be for an animal that they've seen and they're hunting for food? Or could one of the group have wronged them? With there being no tracks in the snow in front of them, maybe it could be them running away from something that could be chasing them, or something that they believe is chasing them. Either way, it looks like an episode that's most certainly going to be heading in a darker direction, something which I didn't think would be even possible following the episodes that we've recently seen. With Shauna looking like she's going to be declining from a mental perspective, and it seeming as though we're going to be finding out what happened to a few of the other Yellowjackets, it's most definitely going to be interesting. One thing to note though is that there was no Ben in the trailer, so I wonder if there's something that happened there. So, there you have it, Yellowjackets Season 2 Episode 8 Trailer Explained. If you want to see more videos such as Endings Explained, Theories and Predictions and Character Breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen next? Leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.